Going on, Jeromes? Beautiful Tuesday. Vikings off day as they travel to Cleveland ahead of joint practices, but firing up a little bit of Q's. Got some A's, and thank you everyone who submitted questions periodically. Really good at talking today. We put out a call for questions on the community tab, so thank you everyone who just fires them in there. Let's go, baby. So first up, R3. OG Jerome, how big of a boost will this offense get if Speedy Nailor can live up to his potential and stay healthy this season? Throw Jackson in, and that could be a dangerous four. It would be very, very good. Very, very good. And the whole thing about Nailor is that, just injuries, first two seasons have really put him behind the eight ball, especially last year. I mean, people forget, Jaylen Naylor had one of the best OTAs of any player, because remember, Jefferson was holding out during, not holding out, just wasn't here during voluntary portion of workouts. And also Addison got dinged up in rookie camp, so he actually didn't even practice during OTAs and mini camp. And Nailor was wide receiver one. Him and KJ were looking really damn good. And then Nailor had that soft tissue injury the first day of training camp and just never recovered. But Nailor's been looking good this year. Knocking on all the wood, had 3 great catches in the first preseason game, 2 from Darnold, 1 from McCarthy. Looked really, really good in that opening drive, man. And Speedy, so I understand people say well, he's not Speedy because you look at his testing numbers. No, watch him on the field, football speed, he's good to go, man. And he can be that vertical threat, take the top off the defense. Of course, Addison, Jefferson could do that too. It could be a lot of fun there. Powell, I've always said that I think Powell is more of a gadgety underneath type receiver, but that certainly does have a role here. And also Tristan Jackson. Tristan Jackson's busted his ass the last couple years, so I think that he definitely is in contention for that for a 53 spot if the Vikings keep 5 receivers, or if they keep 6, he's definitely in there. All right, and Nailor. I like Speedy Nailor a lot, man. But and also Nailor's talked about how he's done a lot of things this offseason. He's gotten into yoga, plyometrics, changed up his diet. So hopefully all these things help keep him pliable and on the field. There you go. Also, Wolf, would you want to see Sam Darnold play more in preseason or let J.J. McCarthy play most of the quarters for the rest of the preseason? Also, how did Michael Juergens play? So McCarthy, hopefully that knee is just minor and it's just precaution. O'Connell did say that he could have played more in the preseason game on Saturday, so it wasn't something that was immediate. I'm sure there's just something after the game, nicks and bruises, just like everyone was dinged up, right? So hopefully that's all that it is. I would love to see McCarthy get some time in joint practices. Obviously, would love to see him the most in the final 2 preseason games. Darnold, I think Darnold's fine. Darnold had a solid opening drive. No, it didn't result in points, but also the Vikings were just being overly aggressive in preseason, just testing things out, going forward on 4th down when O'Connell clearly would have taken the field goal in most situations. So I really sweating it, man. The 2 throws to Nailor were on the money, on time, on purpose, as well as the throw to Addison while Chandler was getting a pressure on him. Literally Ty Chandler was pressuring Sam Darnold. That throw, the timing, placement at the sticks on 3rd down was beautiful, man. So Darnold should be good to go. But also, if McCarthy doesn't play the last 2 preseason games, I have no interest in seeing Nick Mullins. You already know what he can do. I frankly have no interest in seeing Jaron Hall anymore, even though I love me the Mormon Missile, but hasn't worked out. So do the Vikings add another quarterback? It's not so much that the quarterback would have a chance to make the roster or practice squad, obviously, but seeing him in the offense and getting him acclimated just in case you need to make a call during the season, or something that'll file away for next year. I don't know, maybe. It was basically, it's the Jordan Ta'amu plan from last year. But Michael Juergens, so the pride of Wake Forest, I got faith in him, man. So he actually played pretty damn well at center. 0 pressures allowed on. He played 52 snaps at center. Only he and Bradbury were getting the center snaps. So that definitely does raise an eyebrow a little bit, because they like him a lot. They like me. They really like him. But of course, the him getting blowed up on the field goal attempt, that's going to stick out. But hopefully that just ends up being a blooper, and Juergens becomes the next John Sullivan or Matt Burke, and then you just look back at his very solid career at the pivot for the Vikings, oh yeah, first preseason game got lit up. Next, Halibut. If Bo Richter keeps playing well, is Patrick Jones second a trade candidate? Yes. I think he absolutely should be because the Vikings do have a logjam on the edge. And yeah, it's a passer, get the passer league. Can never have enough dudes who can get after the quarterback's ass. But AVG, Grenard, Diamond Dallas Turner, that's 3 deep, very rock solid. They like Gabe Murphy a lot, even though he's been dinged up. And then Bo Richter has obviously played himself into contention for, at minimum, the practice squad and probably the 53. I know the Porter's been good too. Carter has shown some flashes, but hasn't been overly showy. And Jones had himself a really good camp so far. But also, you have to throw in that Jihad Ward was playing a lot of edge rusher, stand-up outside linebacker. Given his flexibility, he could be on the D-line and on the edge. So that definitely would make Patrick Jones second expendable, mainly because Jones probably would want more of an opportunity to flex in a contract year because this is the final year of his 4-year rookie deal. Vikings probably won't be re-signing him after the season, not because he's not good, but because of the money as well as these young guys with Murphy, Richter, Porter, Carter the second rising on up. So, yeah, I think that Jones second would be a very attractive potential trade piece, maybe even getting the Vikings back like a conditional 4th or 5th round pick, which would be awesome since the Vikings sort of bereft of picks next year. But, yeah, we'll see what happens these last 2 preseason games. But, yeah, I think Richter could cement himself on the 53. And Jones, hell, play Jones, showcase him. And see if the Vikings get some value out of PJ2. Next, G. Modilla. The haters and losers will say what they will, but what I saw from JJ this Saturday was encouraging. Yes. Darnold looked great too. Yes. But what happens if we can't solve the red zone? Again, can't rely on bombs all year. Does Hawk help along with Aaron Jones in the run game? So, yeah, the Vikings' red zone offense last year, a little bit touch and go. But Aaron Jones, as a runner, very efficient in the red zone. Also, as a receiver, he was tied for 6th in the league last year with 9 red zone targets. So he does bring a receiving element to the Vikings backfield as well. Plus, Hockenson has been a red zone assassin throughout his career, notably with the Vikings, even missing a couple of games at the end of last year after Dirty Kirby Joseph tore his ACL. Hockenson still had 14 targets in the red zone, which was 6th most amongst tight ends in the league last year, resulting in 4 touchdowns. So that will certainly help. Jefferson attracts just so much attention down in a crowded space. Obviously, that will help too. I think Addison getting a little bit loose, benefiting from all the attention that JJ gets in the red zone will be beneficial as well. Plus, I mean, I like Nailor. I like Powell. I think this is where Powell could shine. Like we said, more of a niche, gadgety player, but could him getting available in the red zone, which he did in spurts last year, could that certainly help the team? Yes. But that's also why we've implored, like, hey, Adam Thielen, is he going to be cut in Carolina? Could you potentially trade him for a late-round pick? Who knows? Or the signing of Juju Smith-Schuster, a underneath possession receiver who has historically done very well in the red zone. But either way, hopefully the Vikings won't be setting for field goals a lot this year because they did quite a bit last year and it kind of cost them. Lastly, Lethal. If you could rewatch one moment in Vikings history for the first time, feels like the first time, what would it be? Minneapolis Miracle for me. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings across the table full of Saints fans. I was a lonely Vikings fan. I hope you talk a lot of ish afterwards, man. But, I mean, the Miracle is up there for me. Oh, also, so non sequitur, but we had a question a couple weeks ago where if you had a XFL or minor league team in Minnesota, what would it be? The Minneapolis Miracles, with the outline of Diggs as the logo. Now, we won't say that it's Diggs, just like the league, the NBA's logo was Jerry West, but it wasn't Jerry West, so we don't have to pay Diggs. There you go. But the Minneapolis Miracles in old school Lakers colors, let's go. Let's go, man. Anyways, but yeah, the Miracle probably would be it for me because, full disclosure, so we were doing the podcast back in 2017. I don't think it was video. I think it was just audio back then, and I was just getting ready, doing up notes and stuff. It's like, Zimmer blows it again. 17-point halftime lead at home Super Bowl on the line, and blah, blah, blah. And then, because I had the TV on mute, I remember, because it was like at a weird angle. So I was just glancing on up, and then I see Diggs just running with it, because after the previous play, the initial Buffalo right 7 heaven, I was just like, whatever, mute. being all mad and stuff, and then I just see Diggs running into the end zone, and of course the negative Minnesota sports fan in me is first off is like, where's the flag? Yeah. But also it's really neat. So the camera angles when they're on the sideline, catching Diggs there, and I know it's. So there's a delay. So Diggs catches it, turns upfield, takes a step or two, and then you hear the crowd. All right. Now, obviously, it's physics. Sound waves traveling slower than light waves. But I kind of want to think that it's Vikings fans thinking like, wait a minute, good things don't happen to us. Where's the catch? Pun intended. But that would be there. The cheating Drew Pearson push off of the Roger Staubach Hail Mary at the Met. I would like to see that, because I want to know where that whiskey bottle came from that smacked the ref right in the head, because we need to sign that dude up for training camp next year. Compete in that quarterback room. It'd be good, man. Or I'd say the entire Buffalo Bills game in 2022. That'd be great. Or well, there wasn't like a singular moment in the Colts comeback that was really awesome. Or I don't know, like maybe just because I'm a sucker for pain, the Gary Anderson kick in '98, just to be at the Dome, just like how does the Dome deflate? Like I wanted to see like how quiet that place got, or walking through the tight ass concourses afterwards, just everyone just like trudging, just like unbelievable, like incomplete. Like how do you get 55,000 people just in complete silence, just walking back and forth? This is me walking, by the way. Yeah. Anyways, that is it. That is Q&A for this beautiful Tuesday. You're beautiful too. Look at me. You're beautiful. You guys know what to do. Skull production value.